Hey, this is Jim with Harvest Harmonics, and welcome again to the Innovations in Agriculture show. And in today's episode, I just want to go over with you the 1,000 science trial program that Harvest Harmonics has undergone, because I think there's been tremendous interest around the world about this program. And we were going to have Anna Berry's a group that association that handles and manages berry growers in Mexico, and unfortunately, they had to bow out at the last minute. But we're going to have them on very soon, so we definitely look forward to that. But today's episode, I really thought I would just discuss in more detail our 1,000 Science Trial Program. Now, what is this program? Well, I want to rewind you to really explain this program in detail and give it justice. I wanted to sort of rewind us back to 2019. Okay, it was I think October, November 2019, when our CEO Frank Arlia, or Francesco Arlia, we call him Frank. He was summoned to Italy from the inventor of our technology, Fulvio Bamelli, and he says, "You have to come here. You have to come. You have to drop everything you're doing, and you have to come here as soon as you possibly can." So, of course, Frank was not sure what was happening. He was kind of excited, nervous, etc. And he actually said, "Okay, fine." So he goes to Italy, and he comes back, and when he gets there, and I really should have Frank on to tell the story. I probably have him tell the story here, but if in any case, when he gets to Italy, Fulvio Bamelli takes him out to dinner. And he says, "Look, the tech is done." And what does that mean? Well, for the first 5 years of our company's history, from 2014 to 2019, at this meeting, we were really doing a research and development project. We thought the technology was ready because every farm we were testing this on was already getting 20, 25, 30% increases in yield all the way back in 2014. The only issue was at that time, at that early stage, we had very small units that could only handle very small water flows. So it really wasn't a real good fit for commercial, big size commercial irrigation systems at the time. But we were already getting amazing results even back then. So when Fulvio told Frank, "Hey, the tech is done. We have a technology that can handle commercial agriculture and commercial flow rates, so we can actually install this on a real farm, on farming operations of not just half an acre or an acre, but all the way up to hundreds of acres." Of course, you can imagine Frank's reaction. So he was all excited. He came back and he broke the news, and we were all cheering and having a great time and having a party because we knew all that hard work that we had gone through for the last 5 years was finally going to pay off, because we finally had a product that we could present to a commercial farmer that would be commercially viable and produce the results that we'd already seen from Kiminasi. So we launched this product at the end of 2019. And it was kind of funny because in South America, our partners down there, it was middle of the growing season. It was just starting their growing season down there, because their growing season, they have several growing seasons, right? So they were able to get established on a lot of farms and get a lot of people using this and trying it out and seeing results down in South America. Now, if you watch any of our presentations on Facebook, you'll notice a lot of those results from South America for that reason, because back in 2019, early 2020, they were in mid-season. Now, here in America and in other places like Europe and America and other places, a lot of the farmers expressed a lot of interest in it, but they were saying, "Look, it's middle of my winter time. I'm not really thinking about it right now. I'm kind of on my vacation time, whatever. Let's get back together in the spring, February, March," which would have been February, March 2020. Now, as you can all imagine, what happened in February, March 2020? Well, COVID hit, right? COVID became a thing, right? And people were starting to worry about it, et cetera. They were saying, "Oh my God, this is a horrible disease." The entire world essentially locked down. We all know what happened there. Now, we already had by February and March, we already had 7 university trials lined up to completely validate and test our technology. In addition to probably, I would say, 50 or 60 different farmers that had already said, "Yeah, this looks really interesting. Let's touch base in February, March." So of course, when we followed up with these guys in February, March, I'm working from home. We're all working from home, but we're calling farmers. We're saying, "Oh my God, actually, we ended up being an essential business that we worked out fine." But a lot of us were working from home and doing various things, and we're still making comments. We're still calling farmers, and at that time, all the farmers were telling us, um, all of us were telling us Well, now that we don't know what's happening with this COVID thing, they're telling us we can't have workers on the farm. They can't telling us we can't leave our house. We don't know if we're going to have a lot of the guys who, selling to restaurants and stuff. They said they lost their entire market. So we don't know what's going to happen. So we're not going to invest in anything new. We're not going to look at anything new until we figure out what this COVID's going to do. Right. And so basically all of that excitement and buildup and, oh my God, we have everything going, right? And all the science trials and everything else that we already had established for 2020 was essentially just wiped away. So in 2020, we kept on, we kept talking to farmers, we kept, trying to work, and we did get several farmers installed and started in 2020. But as you can imagine, it was like climbing Mount Everest with roller skates on. I mean, it was pretty daunting. So as COVID restrictions started to release a little bit, and as things started to open up more toward the end of 2020 and 2021, we really started to gain momentum. We got a lot of farmers going. We have here in the United States alone, we have about 100 farmers or more just in the last year that have installed this. Around the world, we have about 600 or 700 farms using this product. We started a lot of these university trials that we originally had to abandon in 2020. We got a lot of these trials going. In fact, we just got the first couple of results from those trials, and the results of those trials are amazing. Wait till you see the white paper and the thesis of these corn trials. I mean, if you're a corn grower, you should get really excited because we're really going to help you. Okay. But I want to let you know that, of course, we had to look at this like, okay, 2021 was a good year and 2022 is already a good year. We're only 2.5 months in, or a little over 2 months in, and 2022 is already looking to be a way better year. Probably outpace our sales from last year, in the next month or so. So huge expansion with 2021, 2022. But we realized, look, we have to make up lost time for these university trials because there's just a certain number of people that no matter how great our results are, how many results we get, how many different crops we prove ourselves on, they're always just going to want to know what the universities say, what other people say. So we made it a point, and our CEO Frank Arlia launched at the end of last year a 1,000 science trial program. Now the way this works is we are going to get 1,000 university trials around the world on a variety of crops. Everything from commodity crops like corn, soybean, wheat, all these things, to specialty crops, row crops, grasses, pastures, tree fruit, nuts. I mean, we're going to test our technology on virtually every type of major crop in the world, and we're going to test it on areas around the world. We're going to eliminate any doubt or any consideration that the Kiminasi plant booster may not work in this situation, for that crop or in my region or in this particular soil type. We're going to eliminate all of those concerns so that everybody knows that Kiminasi plant booster is the future of farming. It is the premier technology for farming, and it's the way farming is going to be done in the next few years and going forward, because the results and the benefits of Kiminasi plant booster are just completely revolutionizing and revitalizing the agricultural industry. I mean, when you look at what's happening here in terms of the way petrochemical use and GMOs and all these things have been used in commercial agriculture. Yes, they solve the problem of increasing yield and handling certain insects and funguses, but it's also kind of a dwindling spiral, because at the end of the day, when you use these chemicals to treat these problems, you wind up with more problems because there's side effects and there's other things. In fact, I was talking to a microbial dealer who's basically, and a scientist who's basically saying, look, the real problem with world agriculture, both now and going forward, because it's just going to get worse going forward, is we're essentially killing our soil. Like the soil itself has no life in it. So it's almost like we're just growing everything based upon just adding chemicals and adding chemicals and adding chemicals, and there's no real life left in the soil. And in order to really reboot that, we need, in his case, microbial activity. And I said, yeah, that's absolutely true. Microbial activity is a key component. But what happens if you continue to use petrochemicals while you're adding microbes? Well, the petrochemicals are going to kill the new microbes that you're adding to the soil, and it's going to be a net loss. So you need a Kiminasi plant booster, which boosts the microbial activity boosts photosynthesis activity and allows those exudates to come out of the plant to feed those microbes in turn. And that's what's ultimately going to be the combination that's going to drive a lot of this soil health and everything else. In fact, we're going to be at the NCAT Soil Conference here in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be talking about a lot of this stuff and meeting with soil scientists and farmers and everybody else in terms of how do we utilize Kiminasi Plant Booster to improve soil health. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of universities that are going to want to jump on board and test the Kiminasi Plant Booster in terms of improving soil health. So that's our 1000 science trial program. Now, the way it works is we will contact universities, and we will also contact farmers that work with universities. We will have the farmer pay the universities the cost of the trial fees, whatever the universities wants to cost to run the trial. We have the farmer or grower pay the university those fees. We in turn give the farmer our technology at no cost, and at least as much as the trial cost would be. So if he pays $10,000 to a university, we give him $10,000 of technology. He pays $20,000, we give him $20,000. And we also guarantee that he will get more of a return on his investment for that $20,000 than the cost of our system. So if for some reason while running this trial with the university, he doesn't get his $20,000 back or whatever he spent on the trial fees, we will reimburse him so that the farmer will never lose money. It is our number one policy here at Harvest Harmonics that no farmer will ever lose money on Kiminasi technology. They won't lose it on purchase, and if they purchase our product, they won't lose it if they work with us on a university trial. They won't lose any money running grants or anything like that. So there's no way farmers will ever lose money with Kiminasi. And we put our money where our mouth is. And so far, we haven't ever had to give our money because it always works. It just always produces a great result. So having said that, I want to just invite farmers, if you guys are working with universities already and you have worked with them on trials and you want to test this new technology, the Kiminasi Plant Booster, and you want to see the results and help us get the information and the data and validation that we need, we would love to work with you. And if you're a university and you're interested in innovative technologies that could really push the needle forward in terms of how agriculture is done, and you want to be at the forefront of research facilities in agriculture, then I urge you to give us a call as well. Our number here is 727-324-6750. You can speak to myself or our CEO, Frank Arlia, and work with us on developing a trial for whatever you'd like to test. You know, we've got over 100 different testing protocols for a wide variety of different tests that can be run using Kiminasi Plant Booster. And we can also entertain if you have specific tests that you want to do and measure, we would be happy to work with you on that as well. At the end of the day, again, we just want to have an encyclopedia that demonstrates the effectiveness of the Kiminasi Plant Booster around the world on every crop. So having said all that, guys, let me just answer a few questions. I see some people commenting questions. Let me get to you guys on the questions here and see what we can do here. Joe Hartman says, what about blueberry varieties? Do you know about any? Well, we do have several results, Joe, on blueberries. We've tested this on high bush. We tested this on a wide variety of blueberries. What we're seeing in terms of the Kiminasi Plant Booster and the effects on blueberries is larger blueberries. For one, the blueberries themselves are larger. They have a better Brix to acidity ratio, which means they're sweeter. And we're noticing that they have better shelf life with better resistance to freeze damage for the IQF stuff. So if you're selling blueberries fresh, what you're going to notice is a more resilience to fungal or other types of insect damage. You're going to see better shelf life, and you're going to see higher Brix and better quality. That's what we're seeing on blueberries, and we've tested this on wide varieties here. And by the way, if you want more information about blueberries specifically, give us a call. Our number's here, or you can email us at service@harvestharmonics.com, and I'd be happy to go over one-on-one some of the results we've seen on blueberries and also how we can help you on your farm. Let's see here. More comments here from Joe here. My dad had a big operation in blueberries and small fruit. Joe, give us a call, man. If you have a berry farm or blueberry farm, we're going to make you and your dad a lot more money with Kiminasi than without it. And you'll be really, really happy with the improvements in the plant health and as well as the soil health as well. Galen Kuhada says, does the technology change or affect the conductivity of water? It's very interesting. Our system doesn't seem to affect the conductivity of water, but what it does seem to do is enhance the microbial activity in the soil. And when we've done soil tests, we've noticed that a reduction in soil conductivity from high ranges, down to concentrations of standard ranges. And in terms of sodium content in the water and soil, we do also notice a reduction in sodium content from high levels down to medium levels. So we can definitely help with electrical conductivity and sodium concentration if you have a problem with that in your soil. Um, Joe Hartman, more comments. Joe, please, let me put this up here because Joe's got a lot of comments. Joe, I want to thank you first of all for all your comments. We would love to work with you, and we can walk through. Just go ahead and email me there at service@harvestharmonics.com with your contact information, Joe, and we'll be happy to work with you to help you on your farm, and we'll show you how you can get this started. I'm not going to go through cost benefit analysis here on this webinar, but we do routinely do cost benefit analysis. And specialty crops like blueberries or strawberries or blackberries, I mean, those guys are making probably $10,000-$12,000 an acre more with Kiminasi than without it. So we can definitely help you here. And then last one here. The future of farming is berry fruit with the minimal chemicals. Hopefully organic. Everything should be able to grow organic because of health. Joe, I absolutely agree. We can definitely help you with organic growing too. Our whole mission as a company with Harvest Harmonics is to actually reduce petrochemical usage, and we invite all the chemical guys that are out there that are selling and distributing these chemicals for fertilizer. Come talk to us. You can distribute our product too. How would you like to distribute a product that not only is better for the plants, better for human consumption, better for the environment, but also will make you as a company a lot more money than the chemicals that you're selling? That's what the Kiminasi Plant Booster is all about. And again, we're like the Elon Musk of agriculture. So whatever Elon Musk is doing to the auto industry and transforming everything from the standard old model where everything was using gas, everything was using petrol, and now everything is moving to electric and more natural forms of of transportation. So everything is going in the auto industry to electric, and it's going to change the way people drive. Not necessarily like how you actually drive down the road, but in terms of how you put fuel in the car. And we're doing the same thing for agriculture. What is commonly used in soil amendments and nitrogen amendments and fertilizers and pesticides and all these things that farmers feel they need to use because of all of the different things that they're facing. If you just make the plant and the soil healthy, then a lot of these problems will magically go away for you. You'd be surprised how simple the solution is. So if you guys are a chemical guy, or even if you're just a farmer and you want more information about how you can work with us, please give us a call, 727-324-6750. Let's have a conversation about how we can help you become part of the future of farming today. And if you're a university or research facility and you are interested in, in doing some research studies with us, again, we have about 40 trials that are already in progress. We have another 60 or 70 on the slate already for the beginning of this year, and we're trying to get to about 200 to 300 by the end of the year. So if you're a university or research facility and you're interested in testing out the Kiminasi Plant Booster technology and documenting the results on whatever crop is important for your specific region or your area or your growers, then by all means, contact us. Again, I'm going to put the email address over there. Contact us at service@harvestharmonics.com, or you can also contact Science. Let me put that there. This is our science director, Keegan. You can talk to science@harvestharmonics.com, and he'll be able to work with you to set up a trial for your university and the local farm so that we can help you get some notoriety in bringing this new innovation to agriculture in your region. So that's about all I got today, guys. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to helping you become part of the future of farming today. See you again next week, guys. And next week got some really good episodes, so be sure to stay tuned here on the Innovations in Agriculture, and on Tuesday for our Profitable Farmer podcast, where we show you how to make more money using a technology that's going to improve the conditions of your farm over time. Have a great day, guys.